So Entra ID is Microsoft's name for what used to be known as Azure Active Directory. It's their cloud-based identity and access management system. It's really designed to protect access to resources, files, applications, etc., both Microsoft and third party, and provide the end user with a secure single sign-on experience. A lot of our customers like it because of the wide range of security settings it has in terms of conditional access, who's allowed to access what, and also some of the risk-based analysis. So fundamentally, it's Microsoft's access control solution. A number of customers of ours and Microsoft's have been pushed to move to phishing-resistant authentication. So phishing-resistant is using a credential that can't be stolen by an email scam or some malware. Looking at the standards in this area that NIST publish in the US, then that really boils down to PKI or FIDO as the only truly phishing-resistant credentials. PKI is great in some use cases, signed email, desktop logon, for example, but it's difficult to roll out down the supply chain. It's difficult to roll out to every single employee. For example, those that you're not in control of the endpoint device, they're just bringing their own device. So FIDO is the natural successor in that environment to a PKI-based credential. But customers have been faced with a problem here, with a dilemma. They could either issue the credentials with Microsoft Entra, but then they don't get all of the capabilities of a credential management system to make sure the right credentials get to the right people, the right visibility of those credentials. Or they could issue them with a credential management system, but then they wouldn't work with Microsoft Entra. So really what's happened here is Microsoft have listened to the customer base, including some of our customers, and they've built some APIs to enable third parties to issue and manage those credentials that then work within that Microsoft environment. So the customers get the best of both worlds. The partnership with Microsoft enables our credential management system, MyID CMS, to issue and manage FIDO passkeys that can then be used to authenticate to Microsoft Entra ID protected resources. Passkeys have come from a consumer world. They're designed to be, they're designed to have privacy by design. They're designed for self-service. So for example, if I use a FIDO passkey to log onto my bank and I use a FIDO passkey to log onto my Amazon account, those are separate keys. There's no relationship between those keys. And that's great in the consumer world. I don't want my bank to know anything about my Amazon account details. But that's very different to the enterprise world. In the enterprise world, organizations want to know who these credentials are issued to, make sure they're issued to the right people in a secure way, make sure they're revoked when they leave the organization, for example. So that's the real challenge organizations have been facing. How do I bring my expectations of enterprise credential management to a credential that's fundamentally been designed for a consumer environment? So what it allows you to do is to use a credential management system to make sure the right people get the right credentials. You're managing that process, so it's not a self-service process necessarily. You as an organization are deciding who gets which credential. You get full visibility, traceability, audit of that. But then that credential can be pushed into Microsoft Entra so that it understands it and can work with it. So it's really designed to bring that level of management people have around PKI credentials and bring them to the world of a FIDO passkey. And some of those challenges have really been a fundamental barrier to adoption within the customer base. So they want to deploy passkeys, they want to achieve that level of phishing resistant, but they just haven't the tools to do it. So by integrating Microsoft Entra ID with the MyID CMS, this really brings a solution to that problem.